and welcome back to the Beach Club. Almost forgot aloha there. Aloha, everyone. I think this might be the last week that I do aloha now. I think I'm just calling an end to it.
You're calling an end to it?
Yeah, I've gone off it.
Is it going to have a replacement, or is it just going to be hello, everyone?
I don't think we're going to have a replacement yet, unless a natural one emerges, but...
Fair enough.
Charlie, how are you?
I'm jolly well, Patrick. Thank you very much. How are you?
Not too bad. I saw you sent me some messages at the weekend. Looked like you were having fun.
I had a great weekend. It was a beach club themed party. You would have loved it, with a Guinness cake and all. Not even spearheaded by myself. My housemates actually did all the legwork. But
COVID safe party within your house.
Oh yeah, only the four of us. Only the four housemates. Yeah. Only the four housemates. Yeah, but four is enough for a good time. I worked out this weekend.
And I assume you enjoyed the rugby.
I did enjoy the rugby. I enjoyed the France game more, but the England-Ireland game is always a bit bittersweet for me because...
Do you sit on both sides of the fence?
I kind of just sit with the winner, yeah. It's a bit shameful, but when growing up, Dad always supported Ireland and Bill always supported England, so I kind of always took Dad's side. And in the Six Nations, I tend to support Ireland, but they never seem to get very far in the World Cup, so I'm more of an England World Cup fan. I'm a bit of a glory supporter, Patrick. I hate to admit it.
And what else you got up to this week? Did you get into the NFL, like I suggested?
I have been asking the boys if they wanted to watch...
All or Nothing.
All or Nothing, but they've all seen it and they all loved it, so I'm going to have to watch that in my own time.
At least I've had some verification of my suggestion. That's great.
Yeah, no, they're big fans.
Big news I've got.
Okay, that sounds good.
We've got another guest this week.
Wow, that is exciting because I'm getting bored of this one-on-one, Patrick.
Yeah, we're pretty much on fire with this now.
Great.
I'll reveal him later. As always, if you are listening and you would like to get in contact, then please email us at, what is the email address? thebeachclub@reefknots.com, or you can message us on social media at reefknots. I'm not sure why I keep asking people to rate and review the podcast because people don't, but I'm going to make another plea to just click those buttons on your phone and do us a favour. To be honest, that side of things is going rather horribly. Anyway, should we get on with it?
Let's get on with it, buddy.
Yeah, let's do it. So we've got quite a busy week this week. So should we just burn through the peaks and troughs quite quickly?
Sounds like a good plan.
As always, you can go first.
Well, my peak's obvious. We've already touched on my peak. It was the birthday party on Saturday. You know, the Guinness cake, the beer pong.
Yeah.
The beach club theme that I didn't even spearhead. As I said, that was just the boys doing it. So, you know, Saturday was an all-time high. It kind of gave me the taste of normal life again.
Can I tell you something? I've never actually played beer pong in my life, so I don't even know the rules. So that's something we're going to have to address when we're out of lockdown.
Yeah, well, it's time for you to come over and spend an afternoon with the boys. I'm not sure Louise will be too happy about that, but we'll see what happens.
These things happen.
My trough is a bit of a funny one, actually, Patrick. So I just woke up yesterday. I'd come back to the countryside to do some work with my business partner, William. And we had to get up to do some interview filming. And my alarm went off. And I woke up and I just felt like questioning everything, you know? Am I on the right path? Words that have come out your mouth before. Am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? One of these kind of moments. And I was just lying in my bed. I thought, right, I need a cup of tea to sort of help. And then I did some journaling, you know, the old favourite of what are you grateful for? And I wrote a whole side. I've actually got it right here. A whole side.
Am I on there?
The Beach Club podcast is on there for what I'm grateful for. Yeah.
Is it? Oh, okay, good.
So, yeah, and it turns out you write quite creatively first thing in the morning. If you just let the pen go, journaling. I'm a big fan. So I kind of turned that trough into a bit of a positive. But yeah, that was my peak and my trough.
Well, I'm sorry you had a moment of reflection, but sometimes they're good.
Yeah, sometimes needed.
I think sometimes in these days we spend so much time looking at phones, looking at screens, looking at everything that you don't actually get a lot of your time to mentally readjust.
Definitely.
So I try to at least go for a walk once a day or something where I'm just not calling anyone, I'm not looking at any screen, I'm not doing anything, I'm just processing information in my head, because I think if you don't, there's a lot of talk about mental health at the moment, and I think that a lot of people are just not allowing them that process of just getting everything putting it through the filter in your brain. And if you don't, then you're just you can be so jumbled up. I sort of get that, but okay. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm glad you seem to get out of it.
Oh, for sure.
My peaks and troughs. Well, my peak is that I'm selling my house, and the news is that the good news is that we may be getting very close to be actually selling the house, which is great, because as everyone knows, the process of buying and selling houses is extremely frustrating. My trough, on the other hand, is selling my house. It's been a complete nightmare. I mean, I don't know how people cope with having their house on the market for a long time. Our house has only been on the market for about 2 weeks, and we've had about 40 people in and out. But I can't deal with having to keep the place so tidy all the time. It's constant hoovering, it's constant tidying. Agents ringing up saying, "Oh, can we bring someone in for in an hour?" And then you've got to stop whatever you're doing, tidy the whole house. Oh, I hate the idea that someone's judging my home.
Can you not train the kids to hoover?
Well, the kids are at school.
Oh.
8-year-old kids. I mean, this doesn't even process on what's going on in their brain. I'm hoping we're getting to the end of that process, because it's been, well, it's good that it should be at the end, but the process is a nightmare. I haven't even started the process of buying a house yet, so that's the next thing.
It all sounds quite stressful, Patrick.
2022, I'm just going to go to sleep. Well, Charlie, I promised you some excitement, and I'm very pleased to say that it's time to welcome our guest for the week. We are hitting our shout out to help out slot, and I hope that our guest does not reveal you to be a slight charlatan, because he's someone that has quite extensive knowledge on one of the topics that you claim to be an expert on, because he is actually a tailor.
Patrick, I never claimed to be an expert on style tips. I just, share a bit of knowledge from the people I know.
This is exactly what I expected. At the first push, the walls come tumbling down on your expertise. But anyway, the business that we're being joined by today is called Barrington Air, and the proprietor is Tom Wharton, and I'm very pleased to say that he joins us by the magic of video. Tom, welcome.
Well, thank you very much for having me. Lovely to be here.
This is Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
Charlie, Tom, Charlie.
Nice to meet you, Charlie.
Hi, Tom. Are you ready to lock horns on the topic of fashion?
I have heard some of your tips.
Tips is generous, I think. Before we get started, do you want to tell us a bit about Barrington Air? Where are you based? What's it all about?
Yeah, we're a bespoke tailor based down in Cirencester in the lovely Cotswolds, which is looking a little bit grey this morning, but still looks very pretty. Based right in the middle of the old market town, and we make bespoke and made-to-order clothing for men, women, children. And we do everything from classic suits to unstructured jackets to shooting clothing to denim to leatherwear. You name it, we'll make it.
I love the fact that you make bespoke clothing for children. There must be incredibly smart children around there.
Yeah.
My youngest son, he's never had anything new in his life, let alone anything tailored. I mean, I don't think he's ever even had a fresh pair of pants. They've all been handed down from his brother, so...
We did the same. We've even handed down our girls' clothing to our little boy.
Brutal. This is savage. First of all, let's get something cleared up, because this has been a debate that's been raging. Charlie brought it up. Is a smoking jacket a no-brainer?
Absolute no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer.
Yes!
Oh, don't give me this.
We've done, in fact, over the last couple of years, we've done more smoking jackets than we've done in forever.
I mean, what are you doing? Okay, fine.
They're the perfect. So people are using them instead of DJ jackets, make a bit more personality in there. People are wearing them just for dinner parties with jeans and t-shirts, and then we're even doing sort of Nehru collars as well for people who want another slightly different look as well. They are becoming one of the most versatile pieces of clothing to have.
We're going to get on well, Tom. We're going to get on well.
This is not good. So what's big in tailoring at the moment? What are you selling lots of, other than obviously smoking jackets?
Well, with this year being slightly different to normal, We've done a lot of relaxed jackets, so unstructured little ones, so there's actually no padding or anything inside them.
Okay, so like a loose sort of casual lapelled jacket.
They have nothing. They have no shoulder padding, no canvassing, just nothing. It's just a shaped jacket.
You could say they've got no structure, a bit like Charlie's Fitness and Style Tips.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh God, I feel like I'm in the middle of a fight.
Okay, yeah, we're like a warring couple, us two.
It's lovely to see how your relationship blossoms and moves over.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
But yeah, we do, and then we do it with suits are coming back. In the last couple of months, we're getting more and more people. I mean, also because of wedding season's opened up. Wedding season's going crackers.
Weddings are coming back in a big way, aren't they?
Yeah, so we're basically booked up from April the 12th, as long as that still goes ahead. On with all the people. We've still got a lot of stuff upstairs for poor people who had to postpone their wedding stuff. And then we've got everyone who was postponed is now booked in because they're like, right, we're going for it. Bang, this is it. Yeah,
and I imagine you're taking a lot of things out because people have added a bit of timber during the lockdown.
There's been a little bit. A lot of people's clothes have shrunk over. It must be something to do with just being in the cupboard for a bit. But there's been a little bit.
And how's tailoring been? Because the tailoring is quite up close and personal, so that must have been quite a challenge during lockdown. Are you as a studio still open? How's that sort of worked?
Well, not obviously when full blown lockdown, we're all closed. We did a lot because we've got quite a lot of customers abroad. So we've got quite a lot in Norway, and Australia, and America. We've done quite a lot over the video. So have the tape measure and we do the sort of fittings there. So that worked really well. And then also we've got a lot of patterns for people we made clothing for who just said, oh, I want some more clothing. So sent them fabrics. And then also we've just sort of made bits and pieces as we've gone on, design new bits and pieces. And because we're making upstairs as well now, the bits and pieces we just design and come up with ideas. So it's been a bit of a... Okay. And people have sent stuff in. That's the other one that's been a big one. So people have got a favourite jacket that fits them beautifully, but they want it remodelled. They send it in and we use the measurements from that. So...
That's quite nice. That's quite a nice idea because everyone has those sort of favourite items and they get older and then they go, actually, I could do with a couple of these.
This is actually treading on my toes of my style tip this week, gentlemen, because I was wanted to address the assumption that tailoring was extremely expensive, but actually you can send off your favourite garments and get them just altered slightly, which completely reinvents the item. Would you not agree, Tom?
I think that's a no.
It's a funny one because the only problem with altering favourite clothing, especially if you've made something for somebody before, is they think that it might be the same as the bit you've made before them, if that makes sense. The bespoke item, and then once you've altered it, you're always altering something. So things are cut for the fit. So you tweak things. It's always going to be a little bit looking like you've altered it.
I think he's pulled your pants down there, Charlie.
Well, so let me just ask you this question, Tom. I was given a 3-piece suit by my dad, and it's very wide around the ankles and around the waist. Would you alter that for me? Is that a service you give? Would you alter clothes that you haven't built from scratch?
Yeah, we do. And we do a lot. And we do a lot for people, as you say, who've got hand-me-downs or have had a much love from who've given a jacket or something. Because as long as they're well made, people that have if you buy a Hugo Boss suit for £1,000, they have no seam in at all. So you can't let them out or tweak because an inch over 1,000 suits that they're cutting in one go can create another couple of suits. It's all about money. Whereas well-made clothing has decent seam in there, so then you can build and maneuver. But yeah, so you can alter it, but I'd always say get something made. It's much more fun.
Okay, now, Tom, I want to talk to you because you've made some stuff for some pretty well-known people in the past, and I know that you are personally responsible for some of Laurence Llewelyn-Bowen's suits, amongst some other famous people. Now, when he comes in, does he come in with some fabric, or do you call him up and go, Laurence, my nan's changing her curtains. I reckon I can get a couple of ripping 3-piece out of this. How does that sort of work?
It's a bit of both. Because he's got his whole own range of furnishings, he often comes in with a design that he's done.
Don't tell me they're literally made out of curtains.
That William Morris stuff with the William Morris suit, which is the green with all the flowers, is generally usually used for upholstery.
Brilliant.
And then other ones we've got loads of quite random fabrics in here that I think a mill came up with when they were a bit nuts or had maybe were a bit bored at the end of a session. And he goes, "Oh, that's a bit different." So that works well for them. And then other ones he just literally designs it and we make the fabric up for him and away we go. But it's a lot of fun because he just goes for it.
I suppose for you it must be quite nice to have someone that's really pushing stuff. And you make stuff for lots of TV people and lots of sports people, I see. So how does that come about? They just recommend each other, do they?
Yeah, it started with Michael Vaughan. So my cousin's youngest son, not random at all, it was best friends with Vaughany's youngest, and they were up in Derbyshire at school, and my cousin was on the PTA and said, "Look, can you come up because we've had a few people drop out of our October." Christmas, or their October Christmas fair because they do it very early.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, not a problem at all. So I came up, met Vaughany up there, made a few bits and pieces for him, and then he loved them. And literally then he just introduced me to everybody else. So Dan Walker's wearing one of our suits on BBC this morning, I saw. And then because I love my cricket, it just was just the best because he was like introduced with Bumble, Shane Warne, Daggers. It just, it was great.
Yeah. Charlie, what you got any questions, Charlie?
I did see one thing on your website, Tom, that was quite cool. The tweed ski suit. And it's like nothing I've ever seen before. And I wanted to ask you, what's the wildest thing you've ever made, or not made, dreamt of making?
We once made somebody a pair of tweed boxer shorts.
Lovely. They feel comfy.
It was one of those things that someone phones you up and has a conversation. I'm like, oh my word, this is, okay, I'm going to wind up, okay. And then it was to do with a turnip throwing competition.
Oh, God.
What on earth is going on down in Gloucestershire?
I don't know what. It all was most peculiar. But it turned out there was a turnip throwing competition. The dress was tweed, and he wanted to do it in tweed pants, basically. So we made a pair of tweed pants.
Wow.
Sound awfully hot, tweed pants.
Charlie, I can actually add to that because I once asked Tom if he could make me a suit out of neoprene because I wanted it like to be a beach suit. And the interesting thing was that I was going to get you to wear it, Charlie.
Patrick, this all sounds very hilarious, but I have no idea what neoprene is.
It's wetsuit material.
We were going to make a suit out of wet.
Because I had this idea of a marketing thing, which was like my favourite suit is my wetsuit. But we made ties and it was beachy, and I was conjuring up a marketing idea. And I imagine it may well have been me that's asked you to make the weirdest thing.
Well, let's make it happen.
We could make it happen.
And we found the fabric. Yeah. It's all there.
Maybe we should do it.
No, gentlemen, we are going to do it.
A neoprene. I think
that's what's happening here.
We could go and get Andy Cameron to teach us surfing from a few weeks ago, and we'll go down and surf in our suits. Okay, Tom. So are you going to stick about for Charlie's fitness tip?
I certainly shall. I shall be here, waiting for it.
Are you big into your fitness?
I've started doing Pilates.
Nice.
Pilates is different to yoga, right?
I think so. It was one of those things I thought it would be nice to sort of stretch and just be nice and stretchy, and it turns out it's not. It turns out it's really hard work and really burns.
It's amazing how important flexibility becomes to you as you get older. Suddenly you just realise, I can't actually. I'd say that's the number one thing about what is it like to feel older. It's just aching and not being able to move like you used to.
Exactly. And I'm planning because I know the football season's starting again, so we'll start playing indoor football again. Cricket season starts, so we've got a full fixture, and the golf course is open. So if I don't do it now, by the first round of golf, I won't be able to move for like 3 weeks.
In cricket, do you bat or bowl?
Bit of an all-rounder, actually. Again, it's classic village cricket. It's everybody has to bowl 2 overs, whatever. 2020 on a Wednesday night. We're playing some of those beautiful parts of Gloucestershire. And it's basically everyone has to bowl twice. So everyone's involved, so it's anything can happen. Balls flying everywhere. I really like the idea of being like living in the country and being involved with like a local cricket team. It must be amazing. Like, it's a bit like skiing. Imagine
you get those horrible days where it's just, you just think, why on earth do we bother doing this? But then you get those some days where it'll just be a beautiful summer's evening and you're just playing a game of cricket. You don't really care who wins. It's just fun for everyone.
Well, to be fair, with cricket, if the weather's really bad, you don't play. So you don't even have that part.
Yeah, that's
in
good.
there.
Yeah,
so
this is exactly my type of sport.
You only ever play when you got we're stuck in the middle of on a Cotswold hill, looking out across the Cotswolds, can't see any houses, playing cricket, couple of beers, little barbecue going, and as you say, no one really cares what happens.
I'm straight up for this sport. I like a sport where for half of it, I can be eating sandwiches, sitting down inside.
Exactly. Having a little drink, having a chat and a natter, and then, what's all that? Oh dear.
Yeah, the batting bit doesn't take long for me. I can really get through that quite quickly.
And we go on tour as well now. Weekend down in Devon.
So it's almost like stag weekends are back.
Oh my God, it is a stag weekend. Everyone gets overexcited on the Friday night. We're not allowed to go to bed until the sun comes up, obviously.
Yeah.
This is including we play with sort of some people who are sort of 60 plus, and then we have to try and play cricket the next day in the searing heat.
Great. Sign me up. I'm there. Charlie, back to the real world of fitness. What are we? What are you hitting us with?
Well, Patrick, I want to hit you with some more realistic fitness goals this week because I feel like last week the whole calorie deficit was quite focused, wasn't it? It was quite intense. I mean, who's going to find their daily 200 to 500 calorie deficit? It's a hard thing to ask, and I think we are going to have to lead from example.
Are you now trolling your own fitness tips?
No, you let me finish, Patrick. We're going to have to lead by example, and we're going to have to use you as a what's the word? A prototype, a pilot. You're my pilot, okay? So you're going to have to do the intense stuff.
I'm episode 1.
So you're going to have to download the calorie counting app, and you're going to have to track your resting calories on your watch, and you're going to have to track your active calories on your watch as well, okay? But rather than focus on that this week, I just wanted to talk about realistic fitness goals because it's very easy to think, you want to look like David Hasselhoff in his day, but
I don't think anyone's ever wanted to look like David Hasselhoff in his day.
Really?
Let's just draw a line under that. Oh, you have?
Baywatch?
Yeah.
Maybe it was just me. I thought he looked totally out of place in Baywatch because it was like, oh, look at all these beautiful people, and here's my dad with his pants on. You would notice in Baywatch that there would always be a scene of he wrote Baywatch, let's remember this. And then he would always say things, and there'd always be a line from some beautiful woman going, oh, Mitch, you're so good looking. And you'd be like, he wrote that.
Okay, I take back the Hasselhoff comment, and I say Chris Hemsworth. Is he a bit better for you? A bit more modern?
I don't know who Chris Hemsworth is.
Okay, well, this is going to really help you out here. Chris Hemsworth, he has an app called Center, CENTR. And this isn't actually my tip, but now that I've just brought him up, I think I'm going to drop this anyway. We can always delete it.
Yeah.
And on this app is everything you need. Tom, there's Pilates sessions on there. There's yoga sessions on there. It's basically Chris Hemsworth's professional team delivering different types of workouts. So you put your weight, your height, your goals, and it gives you every day, it gives you a meditation each day, a workout each day, some recipes, and you can even choose the meals you like, and it makes a little shopping list for you in the areas. So when you go into the supermarket, you're like, the vegetables are all in one, part of the list. It's very good.
Okay.
Now it does cost money though. It's about £6 or £7 a month, but it's a very good way of staying motivated. Now, that was completely off-piste to the fitness tip I was going to give.
Okay, let's get back to it. Let's drag this baby back on track.
Okay, Tom, question for you and your Pilates. Do you book that session in, or do you just do Pilates as and when you feel is a good time to do it?
Well, one of our customers, Josh Butler, the cricketer, name drop. His wife has a Pilates thing, LBP Pilates, and she does it. So you have the videos and you can do them whenever you want to. Because that was my thing. I didn't want to have to do it because I don't know what I'm doing the next day or the next hour, let alone then. So it's good. So I can just log on, pick the one I want to do, and then do it when I want to. So it just gives me the flexibility on that side.
Well, the flexibility, excuse the pun. But, Tom, I'm going to have to say here, I feel if you're going to get to the next step in your fitness journey, you need to start booking in workouts like it's a Zoom call with the most important person you've ever met. You need to start committing, putting time aside, not every day, because a rest day is very important, but you need to start planning for your brain as well. So your brain, you'll get more out of your workout if you know, at 4 o'clock, I've got a Pilates session outside tomorrow, or I know I'm getting up at 6 o'clock tomorrow to go for my run. So booking in and planning your workouts as part of your week is a really good way of holding on to the fitness handlebars and making sure you're there till the end. Because like all great bands, as Queen say in their film, they don't fail, they break up. And I think it's the same with fitness. You don't fail at fitness, you just sort of give up and flake away.
Oh, the wise owl has flown in again, and he's perched on the branch of fitness, and he is just spouting his knowledge. Charlie, I do actually agree with a lot of this, because I'm a huge believer of putting in chunks of time in your diary, specifically for things. It don't have to be work things. And I think when a lot of people are working from home, their sort of routines have been completely thrown up. They've got kids around, they've got this, everything going on. So, I put specific hours in my diary just for reading.
Fantastic.
And I suppose that fitness goes into that as well.
Definitely. It definitely does. And you've got to treat it like, if you don't treat it with respect, then it's always going to be the first thing to go off your list of things to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, Tom, with those Pilates, you just keep going, buddy, because Pilates is the real deal. There's so many benefits for that.
Still got the ab burn from yesterday's one. I mean, it really hurts.
Yeah. Was it still burning now?
Like when I breathe.
Burning when you breathe.
I've taken it to a new level.
Thank you, Charlie, for your fitness tip. I feel a lot fitter now that you've helped organise my diary. All it leads me now to say is let's, wind this podcast up. We need to thank Tom. Thank you, Tom, for joining us almost for the whole of the episode. So I've really enjoyed having an extra person to talk to and help me troll Charlie. So that's good. How do people find you online?
Our website is barringtonair.co.uk, and air is AYRE. We're on Instagram at Barrington Air, Facebook at Barrington Air, and Twitter is Mr. Tabs.
Interesting that you've gone for a different name for that for Twitter, but okay.
Yeah, that was when we first started Twitter, it was supposed to be the Tailor from Dickens, but it turns out the Tailor from Dickens is actually Mr. Trabs. But Mr. Tabs got used in some media and we got reported in the paper, so we've stuck with Mr. Tabs.
I like it.
You should have been the Tailor of Gloucester.
I know, but that was a mouse, wasn't it? And I'm not quite sure that quite worked. But then people can come and see us in our Cirencester showroom. We've got a visiting tailor service, which will hopefully be open again from the 12th, as long as everything carries on. So, always happy to hear from anybody if they want to chat. And our style podcast is Suits You. It's the Suits You podcast, which chats with some of our customers and some of our celebrity customers about their style tips as well. A bit like Charlie.
There you go.
They've got celebrities, Charlie.
We'll get there, Patrick.
Can you find some of those for us?
Yeah, I sure can.
If there are any celebrities listening, feel free to come on. I guarantee you'll get on. Charlie, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow at our photo shoot.
For sure. Thanks for having me, Patrick.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. If you want to get in contact, thebeachclub@reefknots.com, or slide into our DMs at reefknots on all the social media channels. Thank you again, and we will see you next week. Cheers, guys.
Thanks very much. Take care, guys.
Cheers, Patrick.
See you, guys.